Hi, I'm Richard from Jennings Bramley Furniture, and I'm based in South London. I design, make and fit bespoke furniture, and I'm going to show you some DIY tips. Right, this is a router table, which is a router mounted upside down underneath a table. And it's used for all sorts of different things, basically for profiling the edges of pieces of wood. A router can have lots of different cutters on it, lots of different shapes, so outside curls, inside curves. Big ones like this are really quite dangerous. And so you mount them in the router upside down on a table, and then you push the piece of wood past the cutter, leaning against the fence like this. Okay, first of all, setting up. Before you touch anything there, you unplug it, because it will take your fingers off. This is a homemade router table. You can buy ones. I just like this one, made it myself, and it does what I need. The most important thing for this cutter, you see there's a bearing in the middle here. The most important thing is that the piece of wood is going to run past here. And you can see why I've got it unplugged, because I've got a ruler in here. This turned on by mistake. It would just cut me to ribbons. I want the fence to be in line, there we go, with the wheel. And you clamp it down. Around the back I've got a hose which is going to a big extractor. And I just push that forwards. That'll drag all the dust out the back. The next thing I want to do is the bit of wood which is going to go past the cutter. You can put a piece of wood in, adjust it for width on here. You can go up to very wide bits of wood. And then you can clamp it down. On here what I'm doing is trying to get I'm adjusting the feet of this clamp so that it holds the piece of wood down nice and firmly. As you can see on this thing, it's called a sledge, by the way. On this sledge I've got sandpaper stuck on the bottom, and that really grips the piece of wood so that it doesn't get sucked, pulled into the blade or thrown out, spat out at me. I want it to be a nice firm grip. It's not quite firm enough yet. Because I want the wood to run along with the bearing, and because this piece of plastic is in line with the bearing, I'll just push one up against the other, like that. Next thing I've got to do is adjust the height of the router cutter, and I want this one to be in the middle of this piece of wood. So the height's adjusted from underneath, just like on the usual router. Unclip it. This particular cutter's set for 18mm boards. That takes the bottom and the top off just. And you take everything off the bench and make sure it's all nice and stable. Plug it in. Turn on the extraction. If you don't turn the extraction on, it just flies all over your face. It's really horrible. Now you need ear defenders. You turn it on and you carefully push it through. And you always go that way. The cutter is turning around like this. I'll show you. Because the cutter's going around that way, if you push the wood through this way, it takes the wood with you and it pulls your fingers into it. I know, I've done it. It really hurts. Don't do it. You had to go that way. Yep, that's it. That's how to use a router table.